Hi there. I have a mildly controversial opinion. Hear me out. I think our brains should literally come with a drafts folder. Because half the stories that it writes should never be published. And guess what? I can literally prove that to you in under 20 seconds. Stay with me here. Ready? Okay. I'm gonna give you one fact. Okay? Just one. Here we go. The fact is, they haven't replied. That's it. Now, notice what your brain just did. Did it quietly sit with the uncertainty? Or did it immediately start telling or writing a story? Or jump to the worst case scenario? Interesting. Because, see, the only confirmed information that I gave you was they haven't replied. Now, everything after that, creative writing. Welcome back to Dil Dimag or Drama. I am Niyati, a psychologist and a counselor, also a fellow human who is endlessly fascinated by the wonderfully dramatic things our brains do. And today's episode is called The Biggest Red Flag, the story that we make up in our head in under 30 seconds. That is sometimes the biggest red flag. Because, see, here's what literally fascinates me. Like, our brains are terrible at empty spaces. And I want you to really think about this. You give it one missing piece of information, and it is going to happily supply the other nine. Like, not because it's trying to sabotage us, okay, but because our brains hate uncertainty. To the brain, uncertainty feels uncomfortable, okay, not because we are irrational or we are dramatic. So what it does is it would rather give you a wrong answer than no answer at all, which is why our brains don't just fill in the blanks, they fill them with premium level imagination. Take another scenario, okay? You text someone and 1 hour goes by, 2 hours goes by, there is radio silence. 4 hours, still crickets. The only confirmed fact is that they haven't replied. That's it. But our brain, no chill. Our brain auditions for a full psychological thriller. You start believing, rather first thinking and then believing is, they are upset or they are ghosting me or I definitely said something weird or what if they've lost interest in me? What if they found someone better? Meanwhile, the other person is just stuck in traffic or maybe standing in a grocery queue trying to decide between two cereal brands or simply have forgotten where they left their phone. And the funniest part is we believe every word, like literally. It's basically, like that one relative or a friend that confidently says, "Oh, I know a shortcut." And somehow everybody reaches later if they had stayed on the main road. Like everybody gets lost. And look, now here's something mildly controversial, okay? So I'm actually not a huge fan of calling people red flags or green flags because firstly, we are humans and not traffic signals. And secondly, people are complicated. Behaviors are information. See, one late reply is not a red flag, okay? One awkward conversation, again, not a red flag. One time they forgot to call you back, also not a red flag. But if you have clearly communicated your boundary respectfully more than once and they repeatedly dismiss it, ignore it, manipulate you, or make you feel guilty for having it, that's not your imagination talking anymore. That's a pattern. And that's what I would be interested in. So instead of asking, is this person a red flag? The better question is this behavior repetitive? Can we talk about it? Does he know how to repair? Does anything actually change? Because see, moments create stories, but patterns reveal reality. So here's a tiny challenge for all of you this week, and try it out. Remember the word fact, F A C T. F means the fact, like what do I actually know? A is assumption, what story did my brain add? C is check the pattern, is this one off moment or something that keeps happening? T is take a breath before turning one text into a 5-season web series. And honestly, that's why this channel exists. Not to make you overthink less, but to help you laugh at your overthinking while understanding it a little better. And the goal is not to become emotionless. I mean, we are humans and not robots. The goal is to stop letting your assumptions drive the car while reality sits quietly in the back seat wondering where on earth you are going. So before you react, before you spiral, before you write the sequel, pause, run the fact check, and ask yourself, what do I actually know? And what part of the story was sponsored by my imagination? Sit with this. And if this episode made you smile, made you think, made you catch your own brain in the act, then my job here is done. So keep your curiosity on loudspeaker, keep your assumptions on airplane mode, and until next time, question the story, not just the silence. I'll see you in the next episode of Triple D Dil Dimag Drama.